Someone recently stole from one of my companies. It is someone that I didn't think would ever do that, but they did. Unfortunately, we had to let this person go. Of course, theft is theft, and it's not okay to steal from a business. How did I feel about that? It was really difficult. This person was a key member of our team and had a really important role in our company. So of course that also made it difficult for us because we immediately had a void. There's a part of me that has compassion as well. So I immediately think, well, why were they driven to steal? Like, was it just the fact that they found a loophole in our financial controls where they were able to have the opportunity? Or are they in a hard spot? And of course, if they are in a hard spot, that is painful, and I don't like to hear that. And so on the one hand, I want to be compassionate. I think that's really important, to be understanding and compassionate. On the other hand, I'm a leader. I'm leading a company, and what we do sets a precedent. So we did take advice from a lawyer. You know, what we decide to do here will be the rule for our company going forward. So then you have to ask yourself, is it okay for someone to steal? No, it's not. Do they have to pay it back? Yes. If they don't, then we're saying that you can try and steal from us, and if you get caught, it's a slap on the wrist or maybe a firing, but like, don't worry, you can keep the money you stole. That's also not okay. So there has to be a payback component. There has to be some sort of rectification process here. The advice we're given is offer a payback period, and if that is not met, charges must be filed. And I think that's right, but I grappled with it, you know, like I do have a compassionate side, but I also have a component of justice in my leadership, and you have to do the right thing. So the way I filter through in my mind is like, how do I find what is right? And in this situation, the right thing is, yes, to immediately let the person go, give the person an opportunity to make it right. And if they do, then they will unfortunately have to face the consequences of this, which may have ripple effects, may make this person hard to employ in future. It might make their family situation difficult. I get that, and I do have compassion for it, but yet the right thing to do is to set the tone and the culture in our business, and that is not permissible, it is not acceptable. I talk a lot on this channel about Christian leadership as well, so I think back to reading the Bible, and that tends to be my daily input on how I do things. Was Christ the pushover that a lot of people in our Western culture think he was? No. Did he care about the material first and foremost? Also no, but we're all given different tasks to do on this earth. We're all given purposes. We all have different plans for our life. God has different plans for each of our lives. And so whatever he has given you to do, me or you to do, then we have to do it well, and we have to do it to the best of our ability. You know, bringing that back to being a small business owner, it is not being super hard, super aggressive, devoid of feelings at all times. And it's also not being weak, and it's not being like, compassion in today's day and age can go so far to being kind of wet and not standing for anything. That's all the way on the other side. So I think being a good leader, you have to have a very high EQ, and you have to be able to fluctuate between when to kind of bring in certain leadership traits and do it to the best of your ability. And ultimately, as a small business owner, you will have decisions fly at you every single day. You will have decisions to make. And one of the things I've learned is you have to make decisions quickly. So you quickly assess, you take in all of the relevant pieces of information, and you have to boldly make a decision. Sometimes that decision will be wrong, but we're all flawed human beings, and we just try our best. So that is the way I try to approach things. I take all the information that I can, I try and figure out what is right, and then I boldly make a decision and we move forward. That is how I run my businesses.